What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? This is Jonathan Bonine, back with another story, I guess, or a story for you today, I guess. A little different than usual. Yeah, I mean, if you watch my channel, you know what I'm about. You know I'm a Christian. You know I love the Heavenly Father, but I got a little story that I got to tell. It's a little weird. We've all heard about this 411. Definitely don't want to step on David Paulides' stuff. I mean, he's a wonderful guy. I wrote these books. Has been working on this stuff. But I got a little story of my own that I would like to tell that may just be, if I'm correct, maybe a little touch of that 411 action that happened to me. But luckily, I guess for my sake, I didn't get taken or whatever, and I was able to find my way back home, back to this side. Now, for a long time, I didn't believe it for myself. I was young when this happened. I was a child, very, very young. I really don't even remember how old I was. I know I was just little. Playing on my property. My dad owns a little bit of land, and I was just out, you know, playing like a kid does. And so I just wanted to tell this little story that happened that may or may not be true. But the more I think about it, the more I believe it to be true. Now, like I said, I don't know if the story that I'm about to tell you is 100% factual or not. But we've all been walking in the woods, and we all know what the forest looks like. It's a beautiful place. And when I was a child, my dad, like I was saying earlier, had a little bit of land. And on this land, he had a creek similar to this one. This is not the creek, but I used to love to play in that creek. And it was surrounded by a forest, kind of like this. I mean, it was very close to my house, and, it wasn't something my parents worried about, I'd go outside when I was, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and nobody really worried about me. I was, the creek wasn't very deep, and, I've been around it my whole life, and, so, it was a place that I spent most of my time when I was young. Now, on one side of the creek, if you look back, was just a small hill that led up to my mom and dad's house when I was growing up there. And now on the other side of the creek, it looked a little more like this picture here. So you can imagine it was thick. It was a thick forested area that went up a hill, not necessarily a mountain or anything by no stretch, but it was a pretty steep hill that it went up. And when I was a kid, I couldn't quite remember exactly if it was a dream that I had or if it was something that really happened to me. I mean, it's like when you're a kid, you have this wild imagination. Of course, we all have I had a pretty good imagination when I was a kid, no doubt about it. But this was different. I remember seeing little people, little kids is what I thought, maybe up on top of that ridge. You could see kind of through the trees up on top, and I thought, what are they doing up there? Why is there kids up on top of that ridge? There's no houses. There was nothing up there, you know? But yet I'm hearing voices, I'm hearing laughter, sounding like kids playing, and I thought maybe I saw some kids or little people, you know, and I thought I'm gonna go check this place out. You know, I don't remember exactly what age I was. I don't know, maybe 8, 9, maybe even 10. I don't know. I can't remember. But, you know, and for a long time I told myself, you know, it had to have been a dream. But here, you know, in the last, since I've been an adult, I've thought about it, and I thought, you know, I don't remember my dreams at all. I've never been a big dreamer. I don't have real vivid dreams. My dreams are very short and picturesque, you know. And I rarely remember them, but I remember this still to this day like it was yesterday. So, of course, I go walking up through the woods, up this hill, with my little butt, where I shouldn't have been going in the first place, because it was, you know, a no-no. You know, I could go down, you know, it's known, I could go down to the creek and play, but don't go past the creek. Don't go up into the woods. Don't go out there, because there could be a wild animal. There could be a cougar or a, you know, anything. I mean, a wildcat of some sort, or a snake, or anything. You know, I don't know. But I knew, you know, if I got caught, I was going to get in trouble. But I had to see what was going on up there. So when I get up, the courage to walk up there, and I got up there to the top, I'm still hearing these voices. I'm hearing kids running, playing. I can hear them playing. And I walk up and I see a house that looked very similar to this, a little small house. And I'm thinking, well, that's an awful little house. And the more I looked around, I noticed more and more of these little houses. They were everywhere. Like there was a whole village, and there were people everywhere. It was the craziest thing. And so I'm thinking, there's a village up here. There is a village on top of this hill. And I've been playing in these woods. Now, I played in the woods. You know, I can go a little past the creek, you know, and do little things, you know, and my friends would come over, and we would go out, and we would play war or whatever, you know, or Predator or whatever, you know, and I never heard any village up here before. Never heard any children playing up there before. But here it is. I can hear them plain as day. And now here I am. I can see them plain as day. There's these little people. Now I'm little myself. I was a little kid, so I'm 10 years old at the most, or, you know, and so I'm noticing now that the adult people were bigger than me, but they weren't, but just a little bit bigger than me, you know? And they all looked at me like weird and stuff, and I was like, and you know, this village looked like it was straight out of a fairy tale, something you would see in a book from the 1500s or something. I don't know, 1400s, you know, medieval times. I don't know. It was really strange. And then there was the little kids, and I don't know how old they were, but you know, they were running around their little bitty things, and I was a little guy myself, and they're all laughing and stuff. And I couldn't. They never spoke. None of them ever said a word. You know, I got some grunts from the older ones, and all the little ones just laughed and giggled, and they run around, and I ran around with them. I don't know how long I was up there, but I was up there for a while with these little guys. And I remember thinking, you know, I've been up here for a while. I'm going to get trouble. What if my mom is looking for me? You know, what happened? You know, I'm going to get into big trouble. So I decided, you know, I'd better, you know, get back to home. And I remember feeling, you know, the eyes, they were all looking at me at that point when I started thinking I need to go. And I felt very uncomfortable. So I just started running, and I ran, and when I ran out, it was like I didn't hear anything behind me anymore, and as I looked behind me, I didn't see anything behind me anymore. And I ran down the hill, and I ran back to the creek. And there I was, back at the creek that I was always playing at. I heard no more voices, heard no more children playing. But I always told myself, you know, even, you know, the next day and the day after and the day after, I'm going to go back one day. I'm going to go back up there. And I really believed this village was up there. It was still there. I just couldn't hear them, but I couldn't understand why I couldn't hear them anymore. But I couldn't hear them anymore. So when I got to be about 14, you know, I decided, well, I'm going to walk back up on top of this hill. And at that point, you know, I'm plenty old enough to walk up on top of this hill at this point. But I'm thinking it had to have been a dream. I was a kid. I dreamed this. This was a dream, and I went to this place. But I'm going to go up here because it was so realistic. I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to go see for myself just to make sure, right? And so I do. I go back up there, I go back up the hill, and sure enough, it's just trees. There's nothing there. You know, since then, you know, my dad's got, he bought him some horses. He's clear cut all that hillside. Now it's nothing but grass and, you know, and everything. And never heard the little people, never saw the little village ever again in my life. But then, you know, here recently, you know, and I always thought, you know, that it was a dream. I dreamed that I was a kid. I had this dream, and I dreamed that I went to this place. But I'm telling you guys, I believe it really happened. I really believe it happened. And now, you know, I've been watching, you know, a lot of this 411 stuff. I've been hearing about it, reading about it, and all this and that. And I'm thinking, what if? What if that did actually happen? What if I did go to the little people village? I made it into this spiritual realm. And it's the same type of realm that these people are walking into, and they walk into this other spiritual world. It's where the spirits live, you know, angels and fairies and demons and things of this such, and they're everywhere. There is a spirit world around us all the time. God said, you know, He created everything. And there is a spirit world around us all the time with angels and demons and all these other things. There's things that we may not even know about. And there may be another side. And sometimes maybe they trap you. I don't know if these things were good or bad. But either way, I don't know what they wanted of me, and I don't know why I was able to hear them, see them, play with them. I couldn't understand them. All I knew is they were laughing or grunting or being angry, like rah, or giggling, you know. And they were playing, like they were playing a game with me, you know. But when I decided to run, they didn't seem too happy about it, but I did. I ran and I got away from them. I knew which way to go. I remembered I got to go back that way. That was the first house that I saw. That's the way I go back to get back down to where I need to go. And that's what I did. But what if this was a 411? What if it really happened? What if it wasn't a dream? It really happened to me. And since I was a child, I was able to, you know, I was innocent enough for them to allow me to come in. Or did they want to keep me for a reason? But I got out of there fast enough that they weren't able to keep me, you know, or whatever it was that they wanted to do. I don't know. Like I said, take it as you want. I'm just telling a story that I believe may or may not be true. It's silly, I know, that I went to this little hobbit. That's what they look like, little hobbits. I went to a hobbit town when I was a child, and then I ran out of it. Now, 411, some people go in and can't get back. Some people go in and do get back. They can't remember what happened. You know, there's all kinds of different things, you know. And if you haven't heard of this 411 stuff, look into the 411 stuff. It's a guy, David Paulides. He's written like 8 books at this point. I mean, you know, pretty much everybody's heard about it now. It's where people go missing and they're found in these ridiculous places that they shouldn't have been. Children getting lost and this, and just like in a blink of an eye, and then they appear like miles away in a very short amount of time, and just really weird stuff. And there's adults get found, people get found, and you just got to look into it. I don't want to get into it because David Paulides, he's got his own thing. He's got his own copyright stuff. It's all his stuff, and I don't want to step on his toes. I just think he's a really great, he's doing a great job. He's an ex-detective. He's doing a wonderful job. Wonderful guy. Look at his stuff. But this really happened to me, and I want to look. If any of you guys have had anything happen to you that has had like this, that you can remember this happened, leave me a comment. Leave me a like on this. You know, I don't know, man. You know, just subscribe to my channel. Let me know what's up. If you've got, like I said, like if you've got any stories to tell, leave them in the comments. I'm Jathan Bodine. This is Hello America. This has been kind of a different thing for me. New little thing. But I say God bless you all. I love you all. God bless America. And I'm out.